Kane, it's Tanner. They're moving Lenny in a chopper from the fort. It's our last chance, Kane. I'm heading out.
Take some backup.
I can handle.
Take some backup. Pick up Jericho at Loren Harras.
Alright everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Driver 2. This is Slow and we have entered the final leg of the game. Fortunately, this mission is a massive breather from what we've just had to go through. And out of the missions in Rio, I'd actually say this is actually one of the easiest. The time limits are, dare I say, generous enough for you to actually be able to take a hit and still make it with time to spare, in comparison to Jones and Trouble 2 missions ago. The only real difficult section of this mission is essentially tackling the police. You will be switching vehicles halfway through the mission, so your felony meter will reset, but the police are still going to prove to be moderately obnoxious throughout the course of the mission. You just use your evasive techniques to the best of your abilities and hope they don't spawn in your face. Once we arrive here at this not very well defined alleyway type thing, we need to bail out and get into this thing. And then we need to get over to the chopper pad, which is located in the far bottom right corner of the map. Very luckily for us, the route to get there is extremely straight, although it is a little narrow.
Lose them.
This mission is just essentially a complete test of your abilities to evade the police and not to take damage. And one thing I just noticed there from just listening to that was something I should have pointed out at an earlier point, but as I'm getting completely vaporized by these police, is that some of the other vehicles on the road actually have their own radios playing, and don't mind the glitching siren sounds for a moment. But anyways, the other vehicles on the road can sometimes have their radios playing, and in some cities that isn't really noticeable, but in Rio de Janeiro they play this drum beat type thing. I'm not sure what the exact word for it is, unfortunately, but it's very loud and it's just a minor touch. Fortunately, when we get onto this road here, we have enough width to be able to employ the tactics necessary to be able to just get the cops behind us. We don't need to specifically lose them, because they will automatically disappear as we approach the objective. There's also the sands and water on the left that you can try and risk sending police into it if you want to, but pretty much the only time you'd actually want to use that water is if you were lucky enough to get the target vehicle in safe zones to get close enough to there in the first place.
Lose them. Push it.
Now, the final mission in the game, which is after this, actually starts immediately after this one, in the sense that there is no intro cutscene. However, it doesn't matter what the state of a vehicle is, so the red state of a vehicle is not really going to be a factor as we fly up into the helicopter.
It's going down. Let's move.
Time to break up the party, Jericho.
You're pointing that at me.
Put the sawn-offs down.
Bad mistake.
Put them down. Tell Kane I need Lenny more than he does.
I'll find you.
And I believe that would set the precedence for driver 3. I find it surprising looking at that I've only just realised that the double barrel shotguns actually have that kind of range to be able to deal damage to a light helicopter. But anyways, this is the last mission in the game, and this mission draws parallels to Kane's Compound in that this mission relies primarily on memorization of the route that the chopper takes. And our objective is a small side road north-northwest of this location. And here I just misguess which direction he's going and fail. There's going to be a few failures during this mission. But it was all just a case of simply memorizing the route that the helicopter takes and then plotting my own one. As if you don't need to stay behind it. In fact, if you actually stay behind it when you get to a certain point, you're pretty much automatically going to fail the mission. The only other difficult part of this mission, aside from figuring out the route, as I fail again at the route, is trying to evade the pursuers, which will spawn randomly like the police and are using the highest difficulty level of chasing AI. Pretty much the best way to be able to do this mission with the chasers is simply to make sure they stay behind you for the entire mission, because if one of them spawns in front of you, you don't have much in the way of a chance of being able to evade it. And if you do somehow manage to evade it, you'll have probably fallen behind the chopper enough as to where you would not be able to catch up with it when you get to the target side alley, when we eventually make it that far. There is no time limit for this mission, fortunately, and it doesn't need one because it's a simple case of need to keep up with this thing. Yeah, they really hate you during this mission. Okay, I believe this is where the... hang on. No, I didn't rage quit here, but I get to the target side alley, which is the final part of the mission, and the helicopter literally just turbos off into the distance, and I instantly lose it despite being literally about 6 seconds from the end of the entire game. We just make it to the end of this road and the mission ends. Unfortunately, the game considered us to be too far away. And there's the victory run. I think that was only like 10 attempts maybe, I don't know. But for a final mission, it's gimmicky but challenging enough for its positioning and not blatantly unfair like Chase the Gunman. And I believe that will be all. In the next video there will just be the credits roll of the game, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to end up muting the freaking cutscene again. I mean, muting the credits music again. I hate doing that, but to the sake of channel preservation, I assume. Yeah, pretty much you just have to be ahead of the helicopter before you enter the corridor, and you'll have a chance of getting close far enough into the alleyway that it comes up with the chopper is going down message, which indicates victory. Until the credits video, this has been Slow.